Oh, hi, hi, hi. Welcome to my second live stream. Um, darn, I didn't realize that it's still showing expression camera free. I need to find a way to remove that. Um, because I honestly uh, don't want that on there. But I'm trying it out. Might just switch back to my regular computer camera or laptop camera. Um, Today, I wanted to talk about when you're unemployed. Yesterday, we talked about some of the challenges, and I want to continue talking about the challenges, by the way. Um, wow, I really don't like that back screen. Let me see if I hmm, can change that up here real quick. Because it's flickering. I don't like the flickering. Let me find my apps. In the meantime, while I'm doing that, I'm going to go ahead and talk about we will always continue to address whatever challenges people face when unemployed, especially for a significant amount of time, and how it affects our mental health, our emotions, any struggles we may face, that kind of thing. And, hopefully that if we talk through those things together, then we will, you know, yeah, it's still kind of flickery, isn't it? Hmm. I don't like that. I don't like that. Well, you can just see my wall. There we go. I don't like the flickering. You can just look at my wall like you did yesterday. Um, and my light went dead that front front lights me. Actually, let me see. Do I have any plugs? I don't know if I have any plugs. Oh well, we'll go with a little bit of a dim setting. And I'll see if I can, get some front facing lights on future lives. But again, I want to talk about challenges and what. Oh, my dog's coming over. Hopefully she'll stay good during this. um, Yesterday we talked about challenges, and I always want to continue to talk about the challenges to our mental health, emotional state, our challenges in terms of, landing interviews, being targeted by MLMs and sketchy kind of supposed uh, employers. Uh, And if you have worked for the ones that I consider sketchy or scammy or whatever, and you have a different opinion, you can go ahead and share that. I mean, honestly, you can share that. Uh, I can't figure out how. I don't want to do that. Whatever. I had my bangs so nice and cute, and now they're all messed up from moving around. Ew, 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 ew. But let's do that. All right. Um, Today, I kind of wanted to talk about what do you do during your day? Um, if you're like me, you probably have a lot of available time. Uh, in the beginning, I went between being so super excited back in January at getting laid off, not because I wanted to be laid off, but I was in a very toxic position with a manager that I had. So I had gotten to the point where I had to be put on medication. I had to be put on medication for anxiety, depression, blood pressure, really out of control blood pressure, which up until now I hadn't really had a lot of issues with. And I mean, like one of the last weeks that I was there, my pulse rate just skyrocketed to 168 beats per minute sitting down at my desk, just because of the panic and the anxiety of what is he going to do next, what is he going to say next. I would panic every time I hit send on an email because it would be dissected and just twisted and all that kind of stuff. I personally thought I had been targeted for a good year and kind of saw it coming, especially with the staff having to be reduced. That eventually, I think they were playing very safe in terms of uh, not firing me because there could have been some issues with that. So I think they waited until they had a legitimate staffing um, excuse for laying me off. And even at that, there's some questionable behavior and questionable statements that, are rolling around in my head in a legal way. But and I might address that further on a future video because you kind of don't want to rock the boat too much after you leave somewhere, because maybe if management changes and it becomes a less toxic environment and a healthy environment, you kind of don't want to burn that bridge. You want to stay on the good side of, the remaining people that aren't abusive and aren't toxic. So, I kind of have to think things through that way. But so in the beginning, being released from that experience, being released from that relationship, because it's a high control workplace and some toxic management historically. And so I was like happy. I was like thrilled. I could breathe. Immediately, I started losing weight, eating healthier, um, just like smiling. I don't remember the last time I woke up and didn't feel immediate dread and just fear of what that day was going to bring on. So there was this happiness, and I just started doing a few projects here and there around the house, got them started, a few. And then bit by bit, day by day, the fear of not knowing if I was going to get a job, the experience of applying and not getting responses, and not getting legitimate interviews or what I felt was legitimate interviews. Again, going back to the very beginning, initially I did reach out to a dealership in Louisiana that I called out yesterday, Mark Dodge in Louisiana. They were wonderful, and I did try and subcontract for them in car sales, but it immediately, oh no, my dog's licking my tray. um, it immediately negatively impacted my unemployment benefits. So I kind of had to um, let go of the per sale situation with that employer, because I didn't know if I was going to make something from week to week, month to month. Where with my unemployment benefits, I was a guaranteed weekly payment. And it had held up and pretty much pretty much kept me from getting paid for 3 or more weeks, because once there's anything questionable on your unemployment claim, then it gets put on a review, and they tell you, hey, you're in line to be called and asked about this. Don't bother calling us. You're not going to be moved up in the line. So I just didn't have any kind of income coming in for a couple weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, until a person finally called me. It was all of a 2 or 3 minute conversation um, before she released, my money and stuff. So that also um, just immediately turned the tables of being totally excited and happy that I didn't have to walk into a toxic work environment to, oh my God, what do I do now? I had turned my equipment back in for Mark Dodge because of the unemployment hiccup. And so I didn't have that. And now, I had several weeks where I didn't have any money coming in. What now? So then it turned and I got depressed and anxiety stricken and started sleeping a lot. So those projects I started earlier on are half finished, or barely started. I had all these big plans. Oh, I'm going to be home, so I'm going to do all this, and didn't really accomplish anything that I started unemployment thinking that I would accomplish, because my mental state, my mind, um, became so bogged down with worry and embarrassment and just all those kind of things. And it still is. It still is. However, about a month or so ago, I decided, you know what? I'm sitting here watching all these YouTubers. YouTube University is my game. I probably watch way more YouTube than I do regular TV content. Um, and I'm like, you know what? I'd love to be monetized and make money from it, but it's going to take a long time to get there. It's nothing immediate, and maybe it'll never happen, but at least it gives me something productive to do during the day. And so I started making some little videos, educational videos about high control groups, cults, the religion I was brought in. I've done a few on so far, Scientology, and uh, that kind of takes up my time. This little beast here takes up my time. And she's probably going to try, and she's like a spoiled child. Day before yesterday, when I did my very first live, she stayed away. She was sleeping the whole time, but she gets jealous of anything that I have in front of me. She's jealous of my laptop. She's jealous of my phone. She's jealous of anything I have in my hands. She's a year and a half. She's a black lab, pure black lab. Her name's Cora. So right now she sees me talking and probably thinks I'm talking to her. So she wants a bunch of attention. But this does take up a lot of my day. Cora, Cora, what are you doing? Hey, hey. See, she she wants to be in the middle of everything. Um, so thankfully, I mean, if I didn't have her, it would be even worse. She's a highly active dog, wants to go outside and play fetch a lot. Um, Even in the house, she wants me to constantly throw things and play with her and do tug toys. So if I didn't have her, if I wouldn't have had her when I got unemployed, I think depression. If I didn't have the medications that I went on before, from working in the toxic work environment, that saved me greatly. Um, and she has been a distraction somewhat from the negativity and the negative thoughts. But you know, uh, gosh, I don't. If I try and push her off my lap, she'll probably start barking at me like I'm gonna play. But are you gonna be a rock star? Are you gonna be? Are you gonna be a rock star? Do you love the mamas? Do you love the mamas? I think you love the mamas. Yeah. Oh my goodness. You're making my laptop shake. You're making my laptop shake. But so that's how I got into the videos is, what am I going to do with my time? What am I going to do with my day? Have Cora there for a while too. The winter was kind of so I couldn't do a lot of outside things. And I did have a knee surgery back in October, um, that I was recovering from for a few months. So there wasn't like a bunch of outdoor activities I could do, but now it's warming up and raining less. Hopefully, we can get outside and do some kayaking and hiking and stuff like that. She's horrible on the leash, so she needs a lot of training on the leash. So that will occupy some of my time. Um, but I kind of wanted to, find out and ask and get some thought processes going of if you're in a rut from being unemployed and you're having any of those negative emotions, what can you do with your day? What can you do with your time that will help you um, deal with those emotions, those negative thoughts, and that fear and anxiety? Stop. Oh my goodness. Um, is there a church or a volunteer group that you want to be a part of? I recently applied and was accepted to be on the board of a foundation. Went to my first meeting last night of the foundation and met some wonderful people. Can you do that? Maybe, see if you can volunteer or be a part of an organization or a nonprofit or something and volunteer and network and get around some other people and get out of the house, get it, out of your environment for a few hours or something like that. That can help. I mean, quite frankly, uh, yesterday going to the board meeting was probably the most excitement I've had in a while. Being around people other than uh, my dog and my son. Um, Uh, and yes, I do have an adult son, but he works a full-time job, so I only see him in the evenings and, you know, but uh oh my gosh, she's pushing my tray. So, yeah, you got to meet Cora and she's being a little brat. Um so, in the comments or in future discussions, if you happen to pop in, I'm going to try and have a live every day or every other day or as frequently as I can because it's helping me. Even if nobody's here, even if nobody watches it, even if nobody interacts with it, it gives me something to do. So it's beneficial to my psyche, to my mental health, to actually be involved in this process and learn from it. And for example, the background flickering in the beginning driving me crazy. um, I need to learn about those kind of things. The sound, maybe I need to, well, I'm unemployed, so I can't afford to buy a mic or any other equipment. Eventually, get some decent lighting and sound stuff and all that. And yes, she's making me play with her. Um, But oh, and by the way, in the description of my channel and of this video is my link tree and my links to my PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App. So if you are a person that's employed or an employer and you want to contribute to my rather um, non-existent bank account, and help me keep my house and my car and keep the electricity on so that I can, do lives. Please, I would love it because again, this is not monetized. Um, and share it with anybody that has somebody in their family that's unemployed or somebody that's unemployed themselves that has access to the internet or a cell phone or YouTube. So that we can, start a community and talk to one another and share ideas. I would actually really love for to address the family situation. People that are in the family that with an unemployed person, do they acknowledge and recognize the potential mental, emotional uh, traumas and no, I shouldn't say traumas. Well, for some people it can be traumatic, but challenges. It's a better word. Challenges. The challenges that you go through, and do they recognize it? Do they, because some people could probably come to my house and other than unfinished projects, think that I'm doing fairly well because I'm cooking healthier more often. I when I was working, it was a lot of takeout and uh, not a lot of takeout because we're not a big take, but more than necessary, or a lot of quick meals that were not necessarily the most nutritious. Where now I can put more thought process into what I'm making, and have a larger variety. So that's something that takes up my time is a little more variety and healthy cooking than prior to being laid off. Um, but it would be nice to actually talk about or have people join the group or at least watch the videos that have somebody unemployed in the house. And if they have the concept that this person's hanging in there and doing good and, everything's okay, they might not realize that it's not okay up here. That person might be really panicking. Like I said yesterday, I think about, oh dear God, what's going to happen 3 weeks from now, a month from now, 2 months from now. Um, it's intimidating to have to, or intimidating is not the right word. It's frustrating to not be able to move past that in my head. Um, but it's just the nature of the beast. I'm constantly on my phone or on my laptop applying for jobs. Almost like I said yesterday, I'm throwing my resume at almost everything, trying to see if something will stick. Um, ev- some stuff I'm overqualified for, some stuff I'm underqualified for, some stuff that's a perfect fit, but apparently not because there's somebody out there that's a better fit. Um, so when you have somebody in your family that is unemployed and is having the same struggles, give them some grace, you know, um, talk to them, but don't push them. Depending on the relationship and the personality of the ones involved, be there as much as you can because it is a very lonely existence when you're used to going somewhere for 8 or more hours a day and having interactions day after day after day, and that is your life, to not having that at all and being stuck in a situation where you can't replace that, um, is can be mess with your mind. I was about to say something mind f. um, but be aware of that. Give people grace and um, help them in whatever way you can. Uh, you know, take care of one another. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but it feels like the end of the world if you're the one um, trying to put some money in the bank and trying to replace an income you lost. So I'm going to probably go ahead and make this a short one today. Yesterday was probably twice as long, but because she's up and being kind of bratty and wanting my attention right now she's being okay because I'm holding a chew toy and she's chewing on it, but that probably won't last long, will it? I don't know. She's giving me those eyes like, just keep holding it, and I'll just keep chewing. Um, and if you can think of any other subject matter that is something you want me to touch on, then let me know. I'm coming up with a list of different subjects to focus on. Oh, look at you. You're so sweet. And talk on. I'll probably want to see or ask others which databases, job search databases they work with primarily. I use LinkedIn, Indeed, and Swooped. I don't use ZipRecruiter that much anymore. I kind of started out with ZipRecruiter in the beginning, but for one reason or another, um, was frustrated with it or didn't find it as, I don't know, didn't put as much in my bucket as the other three did, but I might reopen ZipRecruiter and look at it. Um, but share some information that way, what databases that you use. So I think yeah, I'll put a list together, and if you can comment or give me some ideas of what to talk about, that we can help one another build a community of support and ideas, then that would be great. So, oh, she's scratching. Oh, she's scratching. Are you going to sit down? Hello. Hi, puppy. Hi, beautiful puppy. You're so beautiful. Yes, you are. She's beautiful. She's so pretty. Are you so pretty? Maybe you should be the star. Maybe you should be the star. Yes? No? All right. Well, I'm going to go because she probably needs to go outside. But yeah, share this, subscribe, like, share. And again, check my about section if you're a person that wants to contribute to, this new YouTuber trying to make a living and trying to put some money in the bank. And keep an eye on my channel and you'll get notifications when I go live again. Because even if I don't have anybody in the chat, even if I don't have anybody watch this, I'm going to continue to do it. I don't have anything else to do, especially if the weather's kind of weird and I'm stuck inside all day. Then, I'm creating YouTube videos and learning about how to do a live and using whatever equipment I have here without having to buy more because I don't have the money. Is this it's something, it's learning, and then maybe it'll help me out in the future, job opportunity, you know hopefully. So I'm going to go ahead and go. And I really appreciate it if you watch this and if you end up commenting or give me some suggestions. I thank you in advance. And I hope to see or talk to you in the future. Have a great day. Enjoy. Bye bye.